Hey there, welcome to the latest episode of the Sexy Thyroid Solution. I'm Angela Brown. So I wanted to discuss mineral testing. Mineral testing has been something that I recently added to my practice last year. Such an important thing that I added, and I'm so grateful that I did. I have seen so many women get so much better by looking at their minerals, particularly associated with the thyroid. So one thing that I see not addressed very much when it comes to thyroid health is looking at the minerals, looking at your heavy metals and things like that. So I started doing the testing actually on myself because I do suffer from hypothyroidism several years ago and really noticed big changes. Changes that I couldn't get from medication from going to doctors and doctors. So I thought, why not? I'm going to add this to my practice. So I really dug in deep and learned more about it, and it really has helped my practice and helped so many women. So I wanted to shed some light on this and give you some reasons why I think this is like one of the most important things when you are looking at thyroid health. So first and foremost, every time you go get your blood drawn, you're going to get your TSH and things like that checked. Most doctors are just going to, unfortunately, check only TSH, which is unfortunate because we need to see what free T3 and free T4 and several other things are doing. The reason I bring this up is because some of their minerals are associated with that. So one mineral that absolutely needs to be looked at, no question, is I want to see what your potassium levels are doing. And I want to see it from a hair test because the hair test is going to give me an idea over the last 3 months what has been going on. A blood test is going to kind of give me a snapshot right now. And I don't want to know that. I want to know what it's been doing for the last 3 months because it's going to give me a better average. So the hair sample that you send in will give me that 3-month average. So potassium is super important for helping with the conversion of your inactive thyroid hormone, which is T4, to your active thyroid hormone, which is T3. I have seen so many women that either A, their doctor won't check anything other than TSH because I really don't know what to do with T3, T4, or they do get their test results back and their doctor says everything looks fine, no big deal, we don't need to look at anything else. What if you have a conversion issue and you can't convert T4 over to T3, which obviously is one of the most important things with thyroid health? Potassium's really important for this. It's one of the big drivers for this. So if your potassium levels are bottomed out, and I would say 99% of the women that I get that do the hair test with me, their potassium is bottomed out. Unfortunately, it's not a mineral that budges very easily. It takes a lot of work and a lot of effort to budget. There's specific ways you have to do it. There's specific patterns that I like to see that will help boost it. You can't just willy-nilly go taking potassium, and there's forms of potassium that absolutely don't work. You're peeing them out anyways. So that's one biggie that I have to see what's going on. The other one is calcium. So calcium is really important for bone health. Unfortunately, when I get a hair test back and I see calcium levels elevated, it's hair. So your calcium's not supposed to be there. You're supposed to be at a certain level in your hair. So if I see it elevated, that means it's in your hair, it's everywhere else. It's out of your bone and teeth, which is where it's supposed to be. Unfortunately, calcium is a really stupid mineral and it doesn't know how to get back into the bone and teeth. So if it's elevated on a hair test, it's not going to wait on its own. It's going to stay elevated. And so what does the first thing calcium do when it's elevated? It goes right to the thyroid. And it tells the thyroid, let's slow the hell down. So you get a kind of double whammy if you have low potassium and high calcium. You could take thyroid medication all day long and it's probably not going to work. And this is also a scenario where you go to the doctor and the doctor says your test results look totally normal. And you may look totally normal, even on functional lab results. You may look normal on that, but it doesn't mean that your minerals are still functioning normally. So that's why every thyroid person I have always hair test first, no matter what, because the minerals are going to be your driving force. So those are two of the big ones. The other one that I also want to see is selenium. Selenium is a really important mineral for helping boost thyroid function. Have to see what's going on there as well. And I like to see it again on a hair test because it's going to give me kind of that 3-month average. And I typically will see selenium low when I also see potassium low and calcium elevated. So I always see a pretty good pattern like that. But those are just 3 of the biggies. There's several of those others that are going to be important as well, but those are the 3 that I have to see what's going on. And again, don't ever get addressed. So you're kind of spinning a hamster wheel if you don't look at those. And then you're sitting here taking thyroid medication. You're going to another doctor. You're trying to get these lab test results. And like I said, your lab test results may actually look normal, but that doesn't mean that your thyroid's working right. Are you converting over? You know, you may not be doing good conversion. And again, your minerals are just driving this so much. So if you have any other questions about this, absolutely reach out. My thyroid program is up and running. I have a new different packages on there now for my program. And obviously the hair tissue testing is basically everyone has to get it no matter what. It's super important. But again, if you have questions, let me know. You can check out my other YouTube videos as well. I have tons of other YouTube videos dealing with the thyroid. And then you can look at my blog and my website. I have lots of good information on there as well. And I'm also on social media, so you can always find me there. So again, let me know if you have questions. Let me know if you kind of are interested maybe in even trying out the hair tissue testing that is part of my Jumpstart program. So let's get you started and hope you guys have an amazing day. Bye.